I just can't tell you how much I thank those fans for coming out, because that was something special.
Storm the field, pepper is sprayed, and Coach Mack is happy. What a weekend it was for the CSU football team. Kicker came up big late as the hero. See how he was recognized by the conference.
And volleyball continued its winning ways, but dropped in the RPI rankings. We'll tell you why coming up on CTV Sports.
You're watching CTV Sports!
Good evening and thanks for watching CTV Sports. I'm Travis Green.
And I'm Patrick Enslow.
What a thrilling finish at Hughes Stadium as Utah State was in town looking to continue its dominance over CSU. The Rams had other plans though. A homecoming crowd of 32,546 crammed into little old Hughes to watch this game, and they were given a reason to stay to the end. The offense started off hot with this short pass to Rashard Higgins, who turned it into a 69-yard play that got this team off and running. After this play, D. Hart got an easy touchdown to give the Rams the 7-0 lead to get this game off on the right start. The Rams offense stalled, and it became a defensive struggle that resembled the 13-0 game in Logan a year ago. The defense shone with the help of a Max Morgan interception and consistent pressure on the Aggies quarterback. Jared Roberts hit a 52-yard field goal, and the game was tied at 10 going into halftime. The Sobering Up fans had no choice but to bite the bullet and stick around, but it was worth it. Fast forward 29 low-scoring but very entertaining game minutes. The Rams got the ball back with less than a minute to go inside their 15-yard line. Here's quarterback Garrett Grayson to sum up the final drive.
We were running out of the clock, and then our rule for our Mayday, which is our 2-minute, if we get to about the 35-yard line, that's when we start going in our 2-minute. And so once D broke that long run, that kind of changed everything up. Because, like I said, we were running out of the clock and we planned on going in overtime. He had the long run, changed everything up, called timeout, came up with a good play, and then, the rest is history.
As Grayson said, the rest is history. Jared Robert hit the 46-yarder to win, and the fans went crazy.
That's something we coach him to do. We talk about the goalposts, and you just kick it up through there. And, and sure enough, he took to coaching. So that's a good thing.
Now, Patrick, obviously Mack is kidding, but man, you got to give Roberts the respect is due for this clutch kick.
I know you're telling me, Trav. 2 timeouts and an offsides on CSU, and you're thinking, ooh, Roberts, he's already missed a field goal earlier, shakes it off, hits it right through the uprights, right to the Mountain West Special Teams Player of the Week.
It's definitely due. The 46-yarder that he hit at the end of the game, he missed one about the same length early on. With a wind in his face, the clutch kick gets it through, and pandemonium in Fort Collins.
Yeah, this is becoming the norm for Jared Roberts, just hitting these game-winning field goals. And how about those fans, Trav? A sellout crowd, the first sellout in 10 years, and it was great to see.
And some people might question the fans storming the field in this one, but you gotta love it. First time we've sold out here at Hughes in a while, and the fans were into this game. Well, as you're seeing here, just storming the field is pure joy. You got to love this Fort Collins atmosphere right now.
Yeah, it was real college football. I mean, finally in a while. And they complain that the fans don't stay after halftime. Now they stay after halftime. Now they're complaining they're rushing the field. So, hey, beggars can't be choosers.
Yeah, and although this team did great, the offensive line did take a step back in this game.
Yeah, Grayson took a beating. 8 sacks.
Yeah.
I haven't seen this line overpowered this much since that game in Boise.
Yeah, you saw Grayson in this one, had to scramble. 38 yards rushing. We haven't seen that from Grayson in a while, and he's capable of doing it. We saw that. He had to make something happen, and that's how it happened. And came on his feet to move the chains and get this team keep going to get them that victory.
We really saw in the Reno game, he really started using his legs. He did it in this game as well, and it was great to see 3 first downs for him running the ball, which was great to see. A very slow offense with Rashard Higgins, the only player over 10 yards receiving, and I mean, he had 100 plus, so it was a big game out of him. And up next, we got Wyoming, Trav.
It's a huge game here. The border war And I think the Rams are definitely going to win this one. I think they've got the upper hand in this. This Wyoming team is a balanced offense, but they don't have many explosive players to make something happen like this Rams offense. So I think they definitely have the upper hand, and they should win this one at home.
Yeah, only 11 first downs last game for Wyoming, and they're coming off 2 heartbreaking losses. Last game against San Jose State, losing in overtime. So their momentum is a complete opposite of CSU's.
And this Cowboys defense has 0 interceptions on the season. Against a quarterback like Garrett Grayson, who's only thrown 5, the maturity of that senior, I think he's going to do what it takes to really lead this offense and possibly blow out this Wyoming team.
Yeah, and it's great to see Nick Stevens get in there, maybe get Garrett Grayson a rest after those 8 sacks.
Well, now we're going to play our own version of the percentages game.
Trav and I are going to let you know what we think our chances are of a certain outcome occurring. We'll start off with the chances the football team winning out this season, Trav.
I'm going to go on a limb and say 95%.
Whoa.
I think this team has the opportunity to pull this one off. I think they're going to get the win in Wyoming, and then we look forward to the schedule past Wyoming. We're seeing San Jose State. That's a team that could scare some people, but I think our defense and offense just is better than that San Jose State team. They are a good offense, but I think we're going to get that win. Hawaii and New Mexico are teams that I think are definite wins. That Air Force game, a rivalry game, they like to run the ball a lot, and that's the reason why I definitely think the Rams will beat them, because I don't think they'll be able to keep up with the points the Rams will get through the air.
Got a lot of faith there, Trav. I'm going to go 75%, and what scares me are those 2 road games, San Jose State and Air Force, 2 great teams, kind of I'd say middle of the pack, and Air Force has gotten some big wins, some upsets. We saw them upset Boise, and they do have a strong defense and a strong run game. So it'll be an interesting game, and it is in Air Force, but I'm going 75% to win out the rest of the season.
Well, granted, no game in the Mountain West is a gimme, but we'll see how it winds up playing out.
Yeah.
Our next chances is going to be the opportunity to see Garrett Grayson breaking the single season passing record that he already holds. What do you think the percentage chance he'll do that?
I'm going 80% on this one. With the way he's throwing the ball this year, and like you said, teams like Wyoming with kind of a weak defense, no interceptions this year, and with a receiver like Hollywood Higgins, I mean, they're going to be torching up these defense, kind of what they did to Tulsa and teams like UC Davis, where they really stacked on those points and really padded those stats.
I'm going another high number here. I'm going to go 90%. Grayson's
Always got to one-up me.
He's already over 2,000 passing yards this season, and he's got Higgins now this season. He can always go to Higgins whenever he needs a deep ball. I just think the way he's been playing this season and the maturity that he's gained this year, he's definitely going to break his own record, and it's going to be fun to watch it continue.
Yeah, and I mean, they're one of the best connections in the nation, Grayson to Higgins.
Yep. Now, what are the chances that Rashard Hollywood Higgins leads the NCAA in receiving touchdowns this year? Right now, he's in second behind Nelson Spruce. What do you think the chances are he will be at the top at the end of the year?
Well, I'm going to throw my ambitions to the wind. Nelson Spruce has got to face Pac-12 opponents the rest of the year, and we're facing the bottom half of the Mountain West. So I will say Rashard Higgins, 95%, will lead the nation. Going out on a limb.
I'm going to say 70% on this one. There are multiple athletic receivers out there that can go up and get the touchdowns. It's going to be interesting to see how Nelson Spruce plays out the rest of the year with that CU team. They're always playing comeback against these teams, so they're going to be throwing it to him a lot. A West Virginia receiver is up there in receiving yards, so he could possibly creep up on Higgins. But right now, it looks like he definitely has a chance, but you never know what could happen as the season goes on, as those teams are going to be double-teaming Higgins.
Yeah, and we did see a lot more pressure on him in Utah State. Like Grayson alluded to in the post-game press conference, teams are finally giving him that attention that he's basically deserved. But hey, he's still putting up big numbers with triple teams.
And the thing he's got going for him is down the line, where we like to run the football also, so that's going to bring in those linebackers and safeties, so he might keep up these numbers.
Yeah.
But coming up, CSU Volleyball dropped in RPI despite a pair of sweeps. What does the number 6 volleyball team need to do to host a playoff volleyball game?
And sports reporter Grace Reeder has an inside look at a cross-country runner who is turning heads. Don't go away.
The next 30 seconds can save you a lot of money. Just do your laundry in cold and stick to full loads. Auto-sleep your computers. Plug your gadgets in a power strip and switch it off when you're done. Headed out? Turn back your thermostat by 10 degrees. And drive sensibly. The more energy you save, the more money you save. Find other great tips at energysaver.gov.
CSU Volleyball was in Colorado Springs last Friday to face Air Force. This game was about over once the Rams stepped on the court. CSU came out to a 14-1 lead and never looked back. This Rams extended their road win streak to 26. Even though the Rams didn't have a player of the week, that didn't stop senior Deidre Foss from putting up a monster stat line of 33 assists and 10 digs. CSU will take their 17 consecutive sets back to Moby against Boise State for this Thursday for Media Night. Trav, like I said, 17 straight sets. This team is rolling. The only bummer is they are losing that RPI because they are not facing strong opponents.
Yeah, we've talked about it all season. It's hard to face those stronger opponents because you have to play conference play, and the Mountain West is a weaker volleyball division. So it's hard for this Ram team to get the recognition that they deserve. But they're sweeping all these teams, so you gotta pay attention to that.
And you got to give them credit. They're doing what they can, and hopefully one of these top 10 teams will slide down and they will host a regional, because I do truly think this team should host a regional after that road trip they went on earlier this season. So I really hope we got a regional at Moby. It's all fun and games until Fresno State scores. CSU soccer jumped out to a 2-0 lead this Sunday on the road until the 73rd minute when the Bulldogs rattled off 4 unanswered. Ashari Hines led the Bulldogs' attack with a hat trick. Hines found the back of the net in the 82nd minute to cap off her 3-goal game to give Fresno the lead and the victory. The Rams will head to New Mexico for their next game on Friday.
The number 25 will never be worn by a Colorado State women's basketball player ever again. You may be asking yourself, why? Well, the answer is Becky Hammond. Adding to her already impressive list of achievements, Hammond was inducted into the Colorado Sports Hall of Fame last Tuesday. Hammond was a 6-time WNBA All-Star, and after her retirement from the WNBA, she became the first full-time female assistant coach in the NBA for the San Antonio Spurs in August. West Drive is no longer a street on campus. It has been renamed after a true hero from the CSU community. Amy Van Dyken Ruin won 6 gold medals swimming in 1996 and 2000 Olympics. In June, Van Dyken Ruin was paralyzed in a tragic ATV accident. On Friday, the 100th Colorado State homecoming celebration was held, and Van Dyken Ruin was honored as the Grand Marshal of the parade and witnessed the revealing of the newly named Amy Van Dyken Way. Congratulations to a true Fort Collins hero. We'll be right back.
The next 30 seconds can save you a lot of money. Just do your laundry in cold and stick to full loads. Auto-sleep your computers. Plug your gadgets in a power strip and switch it off when you're done. Headed out? Turn back your thermostat by 10 degrees. And drive sensibly. The more energy you save, the more money you save. Find other great tips at energysaver.gov.
This year, the CSU cross-country team is thriving under head coach Art Seamers. They are currently ranked 22nd in the nation. Leading their team is an impressive first-year runner, Jerrell Mock. CTV Sports reporter Grace Reeder has more.
The CSU cross-country team has been on the rise, and first-year runner Jerrell Mock has been helping lead that team.
It's going to be a big program, I think, eventually, and so it's just really exciting for me to have gotten in on a team that maybe 10 years from now wouldn't have had a chance to get on.
The women's and men's cross-country teams are expected to rank well in the Mountain West Conference this year.
It makes it really exciting for training and for racing, and it makes it super easy to support each other when you know that everybody's got it in them.
Mock plans to help push the team up in ranks for the next 4 years, but he's focusing on his season first.
In terms of conference, I'd like to try and crack, top 5 if I can, try and be up there, and then moving forward to regionals and nationals, just be in that team.
Despite being a top runner, Mock is still new to collegiate racing.
For me right now, I still get super nervous before races, just not having much experience in the college racing scene.
But the coaches are helping him with his transition to CSU cross country.
The coaches here are phenomenal. I couldn't be more pleased with my decision to come to CSU.
Thank you, Grace, and have a good night, folks.